Imagine if you had a friend that you could never correct. Even when you try to give them constructive criticism, they refuse to listen because they believe that they were always right. They believe that they were superior to everyone and they looked down on everyone they encountered, right? Their ego was way high in the sky. Like I said, you can never correct them. Even when they are clearly in the wrong, they refuse to hear anybody's opinion, anybody's constructive criticism, right? They were always right in their own minds, right? Does this sound familiar, Jehovah's Witnesses? Does this sound familiar, Jehovah's Witnesses? Because when I was in an organization, nobody could tell me nothing. I believe wholeheartedly that this was the truth, right? I even had an old coworker some years ago tell me, he said, "Oh, you're a Jehovah's Witness, right? Well, you guys were wrong about 1914, 1925, 1975, right?" Now, back then, I didn't know about the, what was it? Stay alive to 75, right? Stay alive to 75. I recently discovered that just a few years ago. But I believe there's a lot of witnesses, the youngins, right? The ones that came after 75. They don't know about the whole stay alive to 1975, right? Because the governing body leaders, they predicted that the world was going to end back then, in that year, 1975. So when my coworker at the time, he was telling me, "Oh, you guys were wrong about this prophecy, that prophecy. You guys aren't you're not the real deal. You're not the real religion, the true religion, right?" In the back of my mind, like, what is this guy talking about? He don't know what the hell he's talking about. This is the truth, right? Even when you are given when people have legitimate doubts, right? When they're legitimate, witnesses are trained to ignore any type of negativity that they hear, right? If it's bad about the organization, we don't want to hear it. That's arrogant. That's being a bit of a narcissist, right? Because you always believe you're in the right. When witnesses go knock on people's door, right, and when they preach their religion to people, they're so quick to encourage people to come to the kingdom halls, right? But yet, a Jehovah's Witness would never go to a church. They would never go to any other type of religion, right? They would never even sit down for a meeting, nothing. Because they believe they have the true religion. You cannot tell these guys anything. You can't tell Jehovah's Witness anything. Like I said, you tell them any type of negative news, they shut down. They shut off, right? Now, when I've done my research, I've woken up, right? I got reinstated about 4 months ago. Yeah, something like that. About 4 months ago, I got reinstated, right? And I was talking to one of my friends, a brother in Boston. The minute I got reinstated, I told him, I said, "Bro, I got doubts." And I said I might disassociate or fade away, right? The minute I said that, I kid you not, the minute I said that, this brother blocked me. This is someone that I've known for over a decade, right? I know him for over a decade. I slept at his house plenty of times. I got along with his wife and kids. Me and his brother were good friends for quite some time, right? All I did was tell him is that, "Bro, I'm having doubts. I don't know if this is the true religion, right?" And I said I might fade away. I might disassociate or fade away, right? I told him this. Now, if he was a real friend, he would have heard me out, right? And he could have even tried to encourage me to stay in the organization, right? He didn't even do that. That didn't even happen. The minute I say I'm having doubts, I don't know if this is the true religion, and I might leave, right? The minute I said that, he shut down. This is what Jehovah's Witnesses do. Because they believe that they are in the one true religion, right? You can't tell them anything. Like I said, even if you have legitimate doubts, even if you come to them with sufficient hardcore proof, evidence that this is not the true religion, right? You can show them a video of a governing body leader lying under oath. You could show them X, Y, and Z, how many articles there is about elders abusing kids, right? And these elders are supposed to be handpicked by God. They're supposed to be chosen by God, but yet there's a lot of elders that turn out to be pedophiles, right? You can show them the failed prophecies, right? But it's that arrogance. It's that arrogance that keep these witnesses locked in, right? Because someone humble, someone open-minded, they would be inclined to hear what you have to say. My own mother, when I woke up, right? My own mother, I showed her, I sent her a video, the Jeffrey Jackson line under oath, right? I thought that, foolishly of me, I thought that was going to wake her up, right? The minute I sent her that, she goes, oh, this is a apostate lie. I'm like, how the fuck is it a apostate lie when the governing body is coming out of his own mouth? Once again, witnesses have this arrogance. You can't tell them anything negative about the organization, right? They're they're narcissists. They are, right? But it's really the governing body leaders' fault. Because the governing body leaders, their philosophy is serve us, believe in us, have faith in us, worship us. Everything we say, you guys have to do. You have to do it, right? You know that Fat Man Scoop song? Whatever I say, yeah, I gotta do. Whatever I say, yeah, I gotta do. That's how the governing body leaders treat the Jehovah's Witnesses. They have to abide to everything, right? If you have any doubts, if you say, oh, this doesn't make sense, I don't know if I believe him, you're cast away. You're cast out, right? That is the governing body leaders. That's the way of showing the world that they are narcissists, right? Because you can't even have doubts. You have to believe. You have to abide to every rule. How is that fair? How is that fair? Serve us at all costs. Obey us at all costs. How is that fair? And then once someone expresses those doubts, like I said, they're cast away. They're labeled as apostates, treated like shit, like trash, right? You need to abide to these 9 men, that all their rules, or you're fucked, you're screwed. Now, if that doesn't say narcissist, then I don't know what is. You can't even think for yourself, right? So here you have Jehovah's Witnesses who refuse to listen to anything outside of outside of what their leaders are telling them. Then you have the governing body leaders enforcing all these non-biblical man-made rules, right? And the minute you try to express how you feel, just like a narcissistic friend, right? A narcissistic person. Because a real person, a real genuine down-to-earth person, a real friend, even a romantic partner, whatever, right? You should be able to confide in them. You should be 100% honest with them. If they make you feel a certain way, if they step on your toes or you disagree with the way that they're acting, their behavior, they should be approachable. You should be allowed to confront them, be like, hey, listen, I don't like X, Y, and Z. Can you please work on this so that we can save our friendship, our relationship, or whatever, right? A real friend would consider how you feel. Does the governing body leaders, do they do that? They don't consider their they don't think about their followers, right? They don't think about the witnesses. They don't think about all these rules that they're enforcing, the no blood rule. You know, witnesses can't take blood to save their lives. That came from a vote between the governing body leaders. They made that up. They made that doctrine up, right? And they enforced that doctrine. They inflicted that doctrine. They turned that doctrine. They turned what was once an opinion into a doctrine, right? Now it's a rule. Now it's a rule. Take no blood. And if you do, you're going to be shunned, right? Like I said before, you do what we say. This is their philosophy. You do what we say, 100%. And if you don't listen to us, you're going to be cast out. No one's going to talk to you. You're done. Now, if this was a relationship or a friendship, right? Like I said, that person should be approachable. You should be able to confide in this person, especially if it's a romantic, right? If it's a romantic relationship going on and you're trying to talk to your partner, and the minute you say anything negative, or even if it's constructive criticism, right? And they get defensive right away, just when you're trying to be honest and upfront with them, and if they get defensive right away, right? Oh, you think negative of me? You trying to tell me what to do? You don't like this about me? Then the hell with you. The hell with us. We're done. We're done. You say something negative about me, I want nothing to do with you. Imagine if that happened in a relationship, right? Right off the bat, you would say that, damn, I'm being honest with this person. I'm telling them something that could make them a better human being. I'm just giving them constructive criticism, and they want nothing to do with me? What? That's exactly how it is in the Jehovah Witness organization. Like I said, the governing body leaders, you have to do everything down to the T. In my last video, I said no beards. You can't have no beards, right? These are non-biblical. They're making all these non-biblical doctrines, and they're turning them into rules. And the minute you disagree, you're out. You're out. But I made this video because I realized that when I was a witness, I was just like that. Nobody could tell me nothing, right? I was hard-headed. I was stubborn. I wasn't open-minded. I was naive. I had some narcissistic behaviors myself. As a witness, you have to be a narcissist. You have to, because you think you're better than everybody. You think you have the truth. You think that everybody around you is inferior, right? So every witness has a bit of narcissistic traits. Because being a witness don't make you a better person. As we know, it makes you I don't want to say horrible person. For starters, it makes you a robot, right? But it makes you a judgmental, unloving human being. Because you think you're better than everybody. You're looking down on everybody who's not a witness, right? And you don't have love for everybody who's not a witness on top of that. So if the shoe fits, right? I personally believe that this organization, from the leaders down to the followers, down to the regular witnesses, they all have a bit of narcissistic traits. They all have it. All right, guys, that's enough of my rant for today. I'll see you guys on the next video.